Yield 5 minutes to Representative Alford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ranking Member Kim, and our distinguished witnesses for being here today. Appreciate it. Considering the threats posed by China and other adversaries, I think these woke programs are really detracting from our readiness. I think we've talked about this before. Since January of 21, the military has spent 529,771 man-hours on diversity, equity, inclusion training, almost $500 million on contract support and administrative costs. Meanwhile, China is getting ready to invade Taiwan. We've got to be focusing on our adversaries and not our pronouns and not DEI. Americans trust in our military, but it's declining rapidly. We're facing a recruitment crisis, as you know. Only 9% of America's youth are even interested. I've got a question I want all of you to answer, if you would, please. We'll start with you, Mr. Cisneros. Does our strength in our military lie in our diversity or our commonality?
First, Congressman, let me tell you.
Can you just answer the question? I'm sorry. I don't have much time. I know we're all tired. We're hungry.
To answer the question there.
Does it lie in our diversity or our commonality?
Well, let me say that.
Does it lie in our diversity or commonality?
Our armed services is ready to defend this nation.
Sir.
They are ready to fight.
Mr. Cisneros, does our strength of a military lie in our commonality or diversity?
I believe diversity does add a strength to our military.
Ms. Schaefer, diversity or commonality?
Diversity.
Mr. Parker?
Congressman, I believe both.
Both. So
I
you're going
believe
to have
both.
it both ways, diversity and commonality.
I believe both.
Mr. Wagner?
Congressman, not only do I not believe they're mutually exclusive, I believe they're mutually reinforcing.
Look, I didn't serve in the military. This man did. Our strength is our unity and purpose. It's the pride in our nation. That's what's lacking. That's why young people are not interested in being in the military. Does the enemy, does a future Chinese soldier holding a gun, or a Russian or an Iranian with their target trained on an American, do they care what color he or she is?
Is that a question?
Yes. It's a yes or no question.
I don't know what the Chinese soldier thinks, but I do know that the people.
Would you imagine
that the Chinese government has discriminated against people because of their race, their ethnicity, and because of their religion, and that's not.
Do you think a Russian soldier is more apt to kill someone on the battle lines that they have a racial bias against? Is that what you're telling me?
What I'm telling you is because of diversity, we want to ensure that people are able to serve in our military with respect and dignity.
Ms. Schaefer, does the enemy care who's pointing a gun or a missile at the enemy what gender he or she is?
Again, I can't speak to the Chinese soldiers.
How about you, Mr. Parker? Does the enemy care what pronoun we are using when he or she is pointing a weapon at us, ready to kill us?
I cannot speak to the mindset and the hypothetical.
Well, what would you think? Does it even factor in?
You know, I would think in that situation, the adversary would be looking at the other adversary.
I tell you what, this is a troubling time in America, and I know our freshman class all had a resolved purpose to give up everything they have to be here, to do something to help save America. And this DEI is not helping save America. It's helping divide America. And when my friend Corey here talks about Arlington National Cemetery and going down and seeing all those white gravestones, unless you know that person, you don't walk over there to that gravestone and you don't know what color that person is that lies in that coffin. We don't need to just be colorblind. We need to walk with unity of purpose, with fortitude, and strength that we live in the greatest nation ever, and I don't care what color you are, I don't care where you're from, I don't care what pronoun you use. We are in this together, and we better get it right.
Gentleman's
Now I
time
yield
has
back.
expired.